obviously have my music running on my phone. So Patrick here from Complete Health, and I wanted to ask a question this morning until my music started blurring out of my phone as I put the live on. I want to ask the question, who is most responsible in someone getting back to full health? The patient or the chiropractor? Who is the most important person in the process of a patient getting better? The patient or the chiropractor? Now, it's really interesting because so many people will put the responsibility of their health onto someone else. We as a society, from what I can observe, and as my time as a chiropractor, want to put our health responsibilities onto someone else. So it is not my fault when something goes wrong with my health. We go and speak to someone else and go, okay, this is my problem, now it's your problem. Now, the big thing with responsibility in actually improving health is that pretty much no practitioner on the planet, and it doesn't matter how good they are, doesn't matter how good a practitioner is. You could be the best practitioner in the world, but the reality of it is that the patient is most responsible for that person's health. And it always will be. And the main reason why is that if someone is not willing to do the work in order to actually get from where they are now to where they need to be, they will never improve. And by the way, I can see this concept time and time again because it always amazes me. This situation always amazes me that we will go through the new patient process with the person. We will find the problem. You can see serious changes in degeneration in their spine and say, look, this is what you need to do, or this is going to be the outcome. And yet no action is still taking place. Why? Because that patient is not willing to accept the fact that they have to take responsibility to fix their problem, that they're going to have to participate either time, money, or energy in order to actually improve on that problem. Let me just give you a couple of examples. I can adjust someone's body every week for the next 15 years, but if that person is sitting behind a desk all day, smoking a 20-pack of cigarettes, eating junk food every hour of the day, never participating in exercise after they finish work, not looking after their mental well-being, stressing out of their eyeballs, what do you think the health of that person is actually going to become? And I can say, I could be the best chiropractor in the world or best physician in the world, and I can keep looking after that person. But until that person starts to take some responsibility and actually clean up some of their behaviours, the problem will never, ever improve. So like I say, who's the most important person? Is it the chiropractor or is it the patient? Because if, like I say, that patient is not willing to take some responsibility in taking action to change their health. And by the way, initially when a patient comes to see me, the only action that I may want them to take is actually attending my office maybe 1 or 2 times a week in order to actually start getting the movement back in the body so that inflammation process can start to come down. But later down the line, if they want to sustain that forward momentum, we're going to actually have to teach them stuff like exercise, better diet, looking after their mental well-being, looking after their physical well-being, maintaining their weight. Because again, just let's look at something like a knee injury. If someone is holding 20 stone of weight on a knee and they're only supposed to weigh 12 stone, that's an extra 8 stone on that knee. And I use the example in the description of we use a sat nav to guide us, but we don't expect it to drive the car. Yet many people, when they go and see their doctor or their chiropractor, they're expecting them to give them a solution there and then, which is why we have a society that takes so many drugs and pills. It's ironic because despite the fact that we're one of the countries that spends the most in the world on healthcare, we're still one of the countries in the world that's not in the top, I think it's the top 20 or 30 countries. And America is exactly the same. They spend a huge amount on healthcare and they're not even in the top 10 healthiest countries in the world. Now, if you were the number one spender on money in healthcare, you would expect that country to be the number one in health. But why is that not the solution? Well, we look in the States specifically that every single time there's a problem, companies and doctors, especially in the States where it's privatized, make much more money by selling pharmaceuticals than they do necessarily selling a solution, which is teaching a patient how to look after their mental, physical, and social well-being, and also their chemical well-being as well. Because this is what we know to be true in actually reducing and managing 90% of diseases on the planet, including injuries, including stuff like heart diseases, diabetes. If we change our lifestyles and teach people how to take control and become responsible for their health, that's when we'll actually see the biggest health changes in society. That's when we will see the biggest health changes. The question is when will we actually get there? When will we actually get there? When will we see patients start to actually take their own responsibility and understand that they're going to have to do something themselves in order to actually get out of these problems? By the way, it's not for me to say that medicine and pharmaceuticals are not helpful. They are definitely helpful in the right situation. You look at someone that's got type 1 diabetes, that is a complete and utter essential. But when someone has got an inflammatory problem due to lifestyle factors, that is when medicine and pharmaceuticals should be the last point of call as opposed to the first point of call. We should be trying natural things first and then reaching for the chemicals and then the surgery last. Just a thought, if you ever thought about flipping it around, doing physical therapy and actually working on the problem first as opposed to going straight to the last step first. Makes more sense to me. So maybe there are some things that you need to be a little bit more responsible with in your health. Maybe you need some help in understanding which areas of your life you need to be more responsible in with your health. And if that's you, obviously leave us a comment or send us a message and we'll be happy to help and guide you through that process. Patrick here from Complete Health, helping you to realize today who's got the most responsibility in their health. Till tomorrow, take care.